Hello, and welcome to Empowered Voices, stories from the Arc of Greater Boone County. This is Pam Verbarg, and I'm here today with Ben Nellis. Ben, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So, Ben, as we've been doing our introductions of our leadership team, obviously you are our newest member of the team, but could you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do here at the Arc of Greater Boone County, and tell us a little bit about your role?
Sure. So I am the development director. I've been here since August of last year. So yes, I'm still pretty fresh. So my role here is fundraising. So I help with development of fundraisers, get fundraising events going, also set up how it works for sponsorship or tickets or silent auctions, and kind of just run those all the way through to the end. Um, I have some pretty good background in working for non-for-profits, and a sales background as well. So it kind of helps with the selling of the sponsorships and stuff.
So tell me a little bit about what got you interested in working in the field with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
So I go back a couple of years. I worked mostly with people that were dealing with mental health or drug addiction. And for me, it felt very good to know that I was helping people in situations. When this job became available, I did a little research on the ARC and saw what the ARC does in not just the state of Indiana, but everywhere. And for me, it was just a no-brainer to come here. I worked really hard in mental health to help promote losing the stigma, comes with mental health or drug addiction. And I feel like with intellectual disabilities, there's a stigma as well. So I really, really wanted to come work in this field, not because of the ARC and what I've heard in the community and just seeing you guys do, but I wanted to work with people with intellectual disabilities.
So you've been here for getting close to a year
Yeah.
now. Tell us a little bit about some of the things and the projects you've been working on.
Sure. So when I first got here, I was able to do the IU fundamentals of fundraising, which was great for me to kind of do that full week class. But since then, me and you have both kind of worked together on some of the things like our leadership luncheon we just had, our golf outing that's coming up. But one that I got to kind of help create with you was our Winter Wonders, which celebrates our ARC artisans. For me, I want to bring something that I saw here, which ARC artisans aren't talked about enough in the community, but to show some of the artwork and some of the things and even the small businesses that we have here.
And tell us a little bit more about, as a development director, you're not just doing events, you're not just writing grants. A big part of your job is about building relationships too. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing to get more involved in the community and build some of those
Yeah,
relationships.
I think that's been the biggest aspect is building relationships. I don't live in Lebanon, so it's been a kind of a start from scratch. But I think just getting to meet as many people as possible, um, going to events. I've been to a couple coffee chats. I've been to a couple events with you, just for in the community. But building that relationship also strengthens what we do here at the ARC. It kind of shocked me a couple times to hear I didn't even know what you guys really do over there. So not only just building relationships, but educating as well, getting the community to know, hey, we do all of this here. So I think it's been pretty good. I know we have some events coming up. I hate to say it's like shaking hands and just talking with people, but really that's a kind of a big aspect of what I do here.
Tell us a little bit about what you have found most challenging in your role.
Um, it's kind of a funny thing because I think the biggest thing for me is when I go to events, understanding that when you have a big event, things that could go wrong probably. Um, we had a couple little small things at leadership luncheon, which I was a little stressed. Just understanding that not everything can go 100%. And grant writing, I think, has been a big challenge. I just wrote and just received a pretty substantial grant from somebody, and I was kind of nervous to have you look over it, but I feel like it was good to see me write this type of grant. Grants are a whole nother world sometimes, and getting that proper verbiage has been something that's been kind of a struggle. I can't sell my way into it. You have to use proper terminology. So I think that's been like a big thing that I'm working very hard to overcome on.
And for the listeners, I think it's important for them to know too that grants in particular can be a really big challenge for us as organizations. And they're great and they're wonderful ways to supplement our programs and sometimes get equipment and things that we want and need to provide the best possible services or to do things like the last grant that you just recently wrote, which was related towards helping some of our small business owners
Mhm.
expand their businesses. But the reality of grant writing for listeners to understand is it's not as simple as writing the grant and they're just going to hand you the money. Grant writing has become and is very competitive. But just simply the act of writing a grant doesn't guarantee we're going to get it, right?
Right.
And I know when I first started writing grants myself, I think I had more denials on my grants than I had acceptances because that grant process has gotten so competitive. And there's so many organizations who also are competing with us with great missions and great stories and significant needs that match or sometimes even outweigh what we have. So it can be a really hard thing sometimes too. If you could also, though, tell us about what you found most rewarding so far.
Um, I think just meeting some of the people we serve has been very rewarding. Um, it kind of reminds me of high school sometimes when I walk into either Mr. Canary or Action Club and I hear my name yelled a half a dozen times. I think that's been really great. Uh, Working in previous either non for profits, um, I've always been always try to get to know as many people as possible. But I think getting to know our people that we serve here has been like super rewarding on my part. Also, writing my first big grant that you helped me get. I'm pretty sure when we have our meetings weekly, I was telling you we're going to hear pretty soon. That's just me stressing. And then when I got it, I think I fast walked pretty fast to your office.
I would call it closer to running.
Yeah, I was super excited. Um, but I think knowing that this money that we're getting from this grant is going to go to either people that want to start small businesses or have small businesses we kind of expand on, that is really rewarding because I know looking at some of the art and some of the things that small businesses do, it's really, really like um, the art, especially. I've actually told you a couple pieces of art I want to buy. So I think getting this will be able to get it out to more people and they can make more sales.
And you didn't touch on this at all, but you're not only supporting the Arc of Greater Boone County, but you're also doing some work with our Mr. Canary team as well
Hmm.
to help them build their sales revenues and that business end of things as well, because you do have a significant sales
Yeah.
history. So do you want to spend a minute
Yeah.
on that?
Um, I think that was, to me, the sales comes pretty easy. Growing up as a pastor's kid, we were always in front of the limelight. So you had to teach yourself how to a be presentable in front of people so you don't get in trouble later. Um, I really like that Mr. Canary is such a good brand in what we do here. Um, I always add that in when people want to do a tour, that part. So I was able to branch out into Lafayette with a place there and then help get us a contact for a major place, a major store here that's nationwide. But I think the real good part is we have a sales team built of people we serve and using my expertise to help them further sales when they go out in the public. We actually had last year, we had a meeting with a place. And, we brought the sales team and they came in and they really used some of those new techniques and stuff. It was a really good experience for them to kind of do that. And I can at least use my sales background for that. Um, I do have some other places I've started to kind of work with and just not just here, but around that I really want to kind of tackle. Um, but yeah, I think being able to kind of do those two different aspects of fundraising plus bringing in some of my skills, I'm excited to see going forward what I can maybe get more Mr. Canary into.
And Ben didn't mention this, but so the listeners know as well. Ben is actually the person who encouraged us to start this podcast, as well as starting the Canary Cast on our Mr. Canary business. So we do have two podcasts up and running now. We try to alternate our weeks on those. And Ben does have some additional events coming up. Would you like to share those with the listeners so they know what's coming up in the near
Yeah,
future?
yeah. So we do have this is our second annual golf outing on September 1st. And,
September 15th.
sorry, September 15th. I got way out of myself. It's at Bear Slide in Cicero, Indiana. We just got the website together today. So tickets should be available, either not right now, but pretty soon with sponsorship levels. Um, Beautiful course. We did it last year for the first time. Um, it's probably one of the nicer courses, I think, around Indiana. Um, but those proceeds go back to the ARC of Greater Boone County. I'll put a link in description for that as well. So if someone is wanting to either do a foursome, we have a limited number of foursome teams. But definitely can join us for that. Also, we talked about our Art Artisan Winter Wonders. That was something that I wanted to do at the end of the year. We did our first one last year. It was a very good success. A lot of our small business owners and artists were there to kind of meet the public and kind of show them like what they can do. Very exciting for them. We did very well that night. This one is going to be on December 1st, which is the same day as Giving Tuesday. Have a little more information as we get closer to that. It's kind of always weird talking about December in May, but we've got those kind of planned out as well. Um, those are our bigger events, and I should have some smaller events maybe that I want to get confirmed, but all of this will be on our social media, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn.
And Winter Wonders, just again for listeners, it's kind of our version of a holiday open house. So we just stay late, open late one day. One of our small business owners is a DJ, so he did some holiday music during it. We had snacks for our attendees, a silent auction, and then also had our small businesses and our artisans present a bunch of stuff that they had ready for sale. And last year, our artisans also did a couple of extra sessions to just focus on Christmas ornaments and things. So we're hoping that we can get Tony and Bess involved in helping us get some of those one of a kind gifts ready for people to purchase again this year as well.
Yeah, I was yet again super nervous. Um, but we had a very good turnout, and I'd love to see even more people from the community and around to come and just check it out. Um, and again, we will have more information on our social media once we get closer to those timeframes.
Well, Ben, thanks so much for joining us today on Empowered Voices. And again, hoping that you'll subscribe and continue to listen as we continue to meet different members of our team.
Yeah, thank you. It's a different thing sitting on the other side of the mic.
Thanks again. And we'll see you next time.